Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Rashad Mitchell. Comes to you live from my YouTube channel as I continue on my part series. The week that was, college football history review, the 1957 college football season. What I'm going to do today is try to do a conclusion of the 1957 season of college football. I think it's necessary to do that. So we're going to start with the game that was played. It was a game that was played on Thanksgiving on November 28th, all the way to November 29th and 30th. That's week 11, November 28th to the 30th, November 1957. That's week 11. Now, Thanksgiving, November 28th, 1957, Virginia military beat Virginia Tech 14-6 in Roanoke, surprising Virginia military. Now, they was ranked at that time at number 17, undefeated, completed its undefeated season, the first undefeated season since 1920, the first undefeated season since 1920. Then its players voted to snub all bowl invitations. So the game's critical touchdown came in the second quarter when halfback Bobby Jordan gave Cadets 7-0 lead on 1-yard smash after fullback Sam Horner's 9-yard run. Virginia Tech was able to pull within 7-6 in fourth quarter as sub-quarterback Jimmy Luger fired two passes good for 42 yards as prelude to halfback Barry Frazier 17-yard touchdown. Shut up the middle. Jordan iced the verdict on another smash from 4-yard line in game's last 4 minutes. Next, we had a top 10 matchup of Army versus Navy, number 8 Navy versus number 10 Army. $14-0 was the score between Navy over Army in Philadelphia. Upbeat middies credited their new light blue jersey for their win. The viewers on black and white TVs watching through veil of cold rain wondered where Navy's gold numerals went. What really won for Navy was the superb defense, anchored by burly tackle Bob Reefsnyder, guard Tony Stramick, and end Pete Jakonovich, which allowed only 55 yards total offense in the second half. Army, which entered the fray with the nation's best 323 yards, 0.3 yards rushing average, 323.3 yards rushing average, saw its All-American halfback Bob Anderson held to 18 yards on 11 carries on ground. Its halfback mate Pete Dawkins did better, but made so-so 63 yards rushing, 18 carries, as midshipmen jitterbug its 8-man front to distract Cadets blocking and limit Army's total ground offense to 88 yards. Superb senior halfback Ned Oldham, 55 yards on 11 carries and a touchdown, scored all of Navy's points on 6-yard touchdown run in first quarter, 44-yard punt touchdown return in fourth quarter, and 2 kicks. Defensive back Oldham also made 21-yard return of interception authored bundle of tackles. On its third possession, Navy went 72 yards as Oldham slipped through 3 tackles to score at end of first quarter. Early in the second quarter, Army went 52 yards to Indianapolis 10-yard line where it lost fumble, recovered by Navy defensive guard Rob Caldwell. Despite that opportunity, another chance appeared early in third quarter as Cadets tackle Bill Melnick made skidding dive to recover fumble punt by Navy halfback Harry Hurst at 19-yard line. But middies quarterback defensive back Tom Forrester made critical end zone interception in front of Cadets and Don Usby. And off Army's 60 minutes, quarterback Dave Borland. Holy Cross shut out Boston College 14-0. The lose turned game into a fumble derby. Boston College lost 8 and Crusaders 5, while Holy Cross ended bold hopes held by Eagles weather-thwarted Crusaders quarterback Tommy Green's pursuit of the national total offensive title. So although Green scored on a 1-yard plunge in third quarter, Quagmire completely submerged Green. He lost by 63 yards to Bobby Newman of Washington State. Holy Cross in Dick Bernardino, a blocked Boston College quarterback punter Don Allard's punt for third quarter safety, 8-0 lead, while all along Crusaders guard linebacker Vince Promoto sparkled on defense. Boston College's only solid spell came in second quarter, but sub-quarterback Bill Brown's fourth down pass to halfback Van Hogan and came up 2 yards short at 8-yard line. Virginia beat North Carolina by a score of 20-13 as North Carolina's up and down Tar Heels, fresh off 3 straight conference wins, laid egg versus ACC bottom feeder Virginia. Key for Cavaliers were quarterback defensive back Reese Whitley and end Dave Graham. Whitley aimed 2 touchdown passes at end Fred Poser in first quarter and made 3 interceptions at critical time. Graham giant on defense all day as he jarred 2 fumbles loose from North Carolina quarterback Jack Cummings in first half. Also rambled through Carolina tacklers on an 83-yard pass run from halfback Sonny Randall. Set up Poser's first touchdown reception of 4 yards for 7-0 lead. Carolina quickly cut it to 7-6 as Cummings dashed away from pass rushers and fired 39-yard touchdown pass to end Mac Turlington in first quarter. Winning margin coming on halfback Carl Moser's 6-yard quick opening touchdown run at left tackle that gave the Virginia a 26 halftime lead. Halfback Daley Goff, who blocked extra point after the second Cavs touchdown, ended Carolina's 16-play, 66-yard drive in the third quarter with a 3-yard touchdown pass. Touchdown blast. Georgia beat Georgia Tech by a score of 7-0. Georgia fullback Theron Sapp became the man who broke the drought, scoring fourth down, 1-yard touchdown run to end 8 miserable years of Georgia loss to Georgia Tech. Sapp carried 7 times for 34 yards on 50-yard winning drive late in the third quarter. Possession started with fumble recovery as linebacker. Yellow Jackets reached Bulldogs' 16-yard line with just more than 5 minutes left to play. But quarterback Fred Brazelton was spilled for 11-yard loss by nose guard Cicero Lucas, defensive tackle Nat Dye, then threw incompletion in the end zone on a fourth down. When Georgia quarterback Charlie Britt immediately bobbled ball on the first down at his 20-yard line, Sapp again saved day with recovery. Grateful Georgia coach Wally Butts simultaneously retired Sapp's number 40 jersey, since this rivalry victory probably saved Butts' job. Auburn defeated Alabama in a shutout, 40-0 in Birmingham. Bowl band Auburn wrapped up the AP's national championship in its first ever SEC title with 6 shutout. Magnificent Tigers defense allowed mere 28 points all year. Now, no major school has posted so low season total since 1957. Sagging middle thanks to Tigers nose guard Zeke Smith helped create a pair of interceptions. Auburn returned for the long touchdowns. Halfback defensive back Tommy Lorino raced 9 yards, and center linebacker Jackie Barkett for 66 yards. Alabama, with miserable 8-29-4 record since 1954, cast flirtatious eye toward alumnus coach Bear Bryant, who began reviewing his options at Texas A&M. Mississippi State tied with Mississippi 7-7 as the end result. Co-captain center linebacker Jimmy Dodd led furious Bulldogs defense that hampered speedy Ole Miss. Mississippi State scored on opening 64-yard drive as halfback Bubba Trammell tore 18 yards through tackle, but Maroons later had 2 field goal tries blocked. Ole Miss halfback Cowboy Woodruff countered with 16-yard catch from sub-quarterback Bobby Franklin, spun through middle of line for tying 8-yard scoring run in second quarter. Mississippi sent three different camp kickers in to try field goals, but which missed, including once in second quarter. And when trio of 15-yard penalties pass push Rebels back from fullback linebacker Bill Hurst's fumble recovery at Mississippi State 8-yard line. The tie cost the Rebels share of the SEC title, but they still were in position to accept Sugar Bowl bid to play Texas. Optimistic Mississippi State was sent into holiday season jilted at bowl altar. Florida beat Miami in a shutout 14-0. As mighty defense of Florida, which enjoys its best record since 1929, never allowed Miami inside its 37-yard line, held Hurricanes to 127 yards. In the first quarter, Gators defensive end Diane Edgerton dropped into coverage to make interception of Hurricanes quarterback Fred Kirchie and returned to Miami 46-yard line. Florida's superior second team executed 38-yard pass to 1-yard line. Quarterback Wayne Williamson to halfback Bill Newburn. Florida halfback Jim Roundtree led from spewing back onto the field into end zone on first run try. Halfback kicker Bernie Parrish converted for 7-0 lead. So Roundtree's 54-yard quick kick to 5-yard line pinned Miami in hold for the balance of the first half. So late in the third quarter, Florida rushed fullback punter Harry Dieterich into a 4-yard slice out of bounds at the Miami 37-yard line. Early in the fourth quarter, Gators fullback Ed Sears ran for a 1-yard touchdown on a counter run. So the Hurricanes' 4-game series win streak ended partly due to abandonment of their solid running attack in favor of spread formation. Notre Dame beat Southern California 40-12 as the Trojans from balmy LA froze in South Bend snow, miserably ending worst season in their glorious history. USC's tacky gold helmets, 1957's new fashion statement, never reappeared. No explanation by tradition-rich program was ever necessary. Notre Dame enjoyed 2 touchdown pass connections between quarterback Bob Williams and end Monty Stickles, while sophomore halfback Pat Doyle went 92 yards to score with second half kickoff. It was Fighting Irish's largest victory margin since trouncing lowly Pennsylvania 46-14 in the middle of 1955 season. Oklahoma beat Oklahoma A&M 53-6 as sports editor John Crowley's lead in Daily Oklahoman set it off, behaving as if they wished they were playing Notre Dame all over again. Indeed, formerly undefeated, Oklahoma roared past Oklahoma A&M as if it hadn't single care in the world, and followed up its post-upset 32-7 win over Nebraska with even larger avalanche against in-staters. The Cowboys, who wouldn't score until halfback Jim Wiggins streaked 67 yards in game's last 3 minutes for its first points as OU since 1953, suddenly had hung into trail only 6-0 with 2 minutes left before halftime. Then Sooner star halfback Clendon Thomas had 162 yards on 18 carries and 2 touchdowns, plunged 2 yards for touchdown, and followed quickly with a 24-yard touchdown pass to halfback Jackie Sandifer. Had the defensive back of Sandifer launched 3 touchdown explosion in third quarter with beauty of 57-yard interception touchdown on the return. Rice beat Baylor 20-0, closing the season with 4 wins. Surprising Owls flew away with Southwest Conference title. Cotton Bowl bid. Baylor marched 79 yards from opening kickoff, only to come up short at 1-yard line. To make matters worse, it lost off injured star quarterback Doyle Traylor in first quarter. Just when it appeared star cross Traylor would make it through season for first time in his career. Still, the Bears continued to threaten by making it to the right 6-yard line. Owls broke up 0-0 tie when halfback Larry Dewitt raced 89 yards with second half kickoff to set up touchdown pass by quarterback King Hill to halfback Ken Williams. Speedy Owls halfback Bobby Williams soon added 80-yard punt touchdown return. Rice backup quarterback Frank Ryan provided 11 yards fourth quarter touchdown pass to end Buddy Dow at finish of 72-yard trip. Baylor fullback Larry Hickman rushed 57 yards on 14 carries for season. Total of 612 yards, new school record. Texas beat Texas A&M 9-7. Resurgent Texas copped second place in Southwest, earning Sugar Bowl berth. handing stumping the Spiny Aggies their second straight upset defeat. Longhorns quarterback Bobby Lackey scored first quarter touchdown after quarterback punter Walt Fondren's 62-yard quick kick gained field position. Kicker Lackey added field goal for 9-0 Steelers lead. Superb again for Texas A&M was ace halfback defensive back John David Crow, who contributed 57-yard catch to Aggies' only touchdown drive and batted down several Longhorn passes. After the game, reluctant Aggies administration chose to release coach Bear Bryant from his contract so he could move to Alabama, his alma mater. There was heavy-hanging rumors of Bryant's departure that had created dejection among A&M players. Arizona State beat Arizona 47-7. Powerful offense of Sun Devils scored first three times it saw ball to build 20-0 lead in the second quarter. Halfback Leon Burton caught 32-yard touchdown on an option pass from halfback Bobby Magado and got 46 yards of screen pass from quarterback John Handgartner to bring halfback score to 27-0 in an attempt to get back in game. Gambling Arizona gamely tried onside kickoff to start second half, but ASU recovered. Burton raced to another touchdown, and later added a 19-yard touchdown catch. Handgartner's fourth touchdown strike. Trailing 47-0, Wildcats finally scored on last play of third quarter as quarterback Ralph Hunsaker passed 19 yards to reserve fullback Carl Haslett. Final AP poll for December 2nd, so that concluded week 11, from 28th to the 30th, 1957. Auburn was number 1, number 2, Ohio State, number 3, Michigan State, number 4, Oklahoma State, number 5, Navy, number 6, Iowa, number 7, Mississippi, number 8, Rice, number 9, Texas A&M, number 10, Notre Dame, number 11, Texas, number 12, Arizona State, number 13, Tennessee, number 14, Mississippi State, number 15, North Carolina State, number 16, Duke, number 17, Florida, number 18, Army, number 19, Wisconsin, number 20, Virginia Military. Week 12, December 7th, 1957. Miami beat Pittsburgh by a score of 28-13. Disappointing season for Miami and Pittsburgh came to close as Hurricanes pulled off a surprising win. Pint-sized Miami quarterback Fran Kirchie set keynote with 44-yard run on game's first play. Later hit halfback Joe Plevel with 2 touchdown passes in the second quarter for 14-0 halftime lead. Striving to get back in the game, Panthers got second half touchdowns on quarterback Bill Calenden's 35-yard pass to end Dick Scherer, halfback Jim Theodore's 4-yard run. Whatever hope Pitt harbored, however, intimately was dashed by Kirchie, who authored touchdown run and made clever goal line pitch out to halfback Byron Glasgow for another touchdown. Finally, Notre Dame beat Southern Methodist by a score of 54-21. Summer weather greeted Notre Dame, and Fighting Irish turned Dallas' visit into a day at the beach. Notre Dame turned 6 turnovers, including 4 interceptions, into touchdowns for 5-score victory margin. Matchup had its ugly aspect as 9 personal fouls were called. Irish center Frank Kutchter and SMU tackle Charlie Terrell were tossed. When star Mustangs passing quarterback Don Meredith limped off in fourth quarter, it brought loud jeers at visitors. But sophomore quarterback left with, to date, NCAA season's percentage record, 69.6. 71-102, 912 yards. Meredith's 48-yard touchdown, bombed to halfback Slaughter, had given SMU early 7-0 lead. But Notre Dame fullback Charlie Lima tied it with 2-yard smash over right tackle after Irish halfback defensive back Dick Lynch's interception of sub quarterback Charlie Arnold late in the first quarter. Notre Dame quarterback Bob Williams scored from 5-yard line. This is back. Williams interception Meredith early in second quarter led to Williams' 3-yard touchdown run up middle. Halfback Pat Doyle. So fullback Norm Adinek. Each scored twice for Irish. Okay. 1957 conference standings. Ivy League, Princeton was 6-1. They was finished at the top. I'm just gonna go over the teams that finished at the top of the conference standings. Atlantic Coast, North Carolina State was 5-1. Southern Conference, Virginia Military was 6-0. Big Ten, Ohio State was 7-0. Missouri Valley, Houston 3-0-1. They was first. Southeastern Conference was Auburn with a 7-0 record. Big 8, 6-0 record. Mid-American Conference, Miami of Ohio, 5-0. Southwest, Rice, 5-1. Utah, 5-1. Border, Arizona State, 4-0. Pacific Coast, Oregon State, 6-2. Now, that was basically the conference standings as far as like the teams that finished first. Again, Pacific Coast, Oregon State was 6-2. Utah was 5-1. Skyline 8 conference. The Border Conference was Arizona State at 4-0. Southwest Conference Rice 5-1. Mid-American Miami of Ohio 5-0. Big 8 Oklahoma 6-0. Southeastern Auburn 7-0. Atlantic Coast North Carolina State 5-0-1. Missouri Valley Houston 3-0-1. Penn 10 Ohio State 7-0. Virginia Military 6-0. Ivy League, Princeton, 6-1. So these are the top leaders that finished first in the conference. That's what I'm going to be doing for now. I'll just talk about teams that finished first, and I'm going to go over the whole conference standings in terms of who finished behind the top leader. Now it's time to get into the 1957 bowl games. We're going to start with the Gator Bowl, December 28th, where Tennessee shut out Texas A&M by a score of 3-0. Texas A&M once glorious season came crashing to a 3-loss close after 7-6 and 9-7 defeats to complete their regular season. Aggies watched as an inspirational coach Bear Bryant announced on Thanksgiving night that he will return to Alabama to restore a football program at Alabama, his alma mater. Unable to mount offense, A&M defense still sparkled but got help from bumbling offense of Tennessee. Volunteers provided critical clipping penalty and pair of key fumble losses. The clipping wiped out 82-yard touchdown return by Volunteers tailback Bobby Gordon of punt by Aggies halfback punter Bobby Joe Conrad. Deep to fourth quarter, game remained 0-0 until Volunteers mounted 50 yards drive. Key play was Gordon's 20-yard pass to wingback Bill Anderson. Gordon made 11-yard run to A&M's 6-yard line where he slammed head-on into the Aggies' Heisman-winning halfback, defensive back John David Crow. Now each star staggered to his feet. Each played on. Now Gordon carried 3 more times to 1-yard line. And Tennessee coach Bowden Wyatt sent kicker specialist Sammy Burklow in to try field goal, telling him it's just like an extra point. Burklow booted perfect 17-yard field goal before Volunteers win their first bowl triumph since 1951. Orange Bowl. Oklahoma beat Duke 48-21 as Oklahoma defensive back David Baker picked off early pass intended for Duke and George Alterhawk by quarterback George Harris. Vaulted 94 yards down left sideline for touchdown, longest in bowl history to date. Sooners halfback Cleveland Thomas lined up at end, scored on reverse run. Duke, which surprisingly won stat battle, 328 yards to 279 yards, launched 65 yards and 85 yards ground. Attacks are behind halfback Hal McElhaney, halfback George Dutra. So mighty Oklahoma led only 21-14 entering fourth quarter. Duke quarterback Bob Broadhead would later say their lowest substitute seemed to be just like the others, lean, angular, and quick. Sooners proved it against Tyrion Devils in the fourth quarter. They unloaded 27 points, including touchdown passes that made footnotes out of subs. Quarterback Baker, halfback Brewster Hobby, halfback Hobby hit quarterback Baker with touchdown passes. Baker returned favor to Hobby, becoming first pair of players to both throw and catch touchdowns in single game in bowl history. Quarterback defensive back Bennett Watts, Sooners fourth teamer, grabbed interception, ran 40 yards and alertly tossed lateral to trailing halfback defensive back Dick Carpenter, who sprinted rest away for 73-yard touchdown. Sugar Bowl, Mississippi. Mississippi beat Texas 39-7. And rugged Rebels linemen prevailed, blocking holes open for 304 yards rushing, and set stage for superlative performance by quarterback defensive back Ray Brown in his last college game. Brown scored for his Ole Miss touchdown pass to end Don Merritt Williams for second score. Set up third with one of his third three interceptions and capped his unanimous MVP selection with a spectacular fourth quarter run. Soon after, Texas halfback future Cleveland Indian third baseman Max Alvis scored Longhorns' only touchdown to bring tally to 26-7. Punter Brown fielded a high punt snap in the end zone, pressured by in-rushing Texas end Larry Stevens. Brown sprinted away from Stevens, picked up blockers after nearly stumbling near scrimmage line, and went 92 yards to score. Part of blocking convoy and dreaming of glory was guard Jackie Simpson, who shot it for Brown to slip him the ball. It would have been something for Jackie to score a touchdown, said Brown, but I was so tired I was afraid I would fumble. Any chance young Texas had of avoiding rout was punctured by 4 lost fumbles and 4 interceptions. Next, in the Cotton Bowl, Navy beat Rice 20-7. Strangely enough, Cotton Bowl was the only game of 1957 postseason which matched a pair of top 10 teams. Navy coach Eddie Erdelatz pronounced his outfit to be finest in his 8 years at Annapolis, and they proved it by dominating ours by more than score would indicate. Rice lost fumbles, which led to short Navy drives, 33 yards in the first quarter, when sub-quarterback Joe Tranchini scored 20 yards early in the third quarter, and halfback Ned Odom carried it over between quarterback Tom Forrester, who passed 13 of 24, 153 yards, mostly marshaled his ground troops as they posted 51 yards of 66 yard scoring march in the second quarter. Halfback Harry Hurst and stat drive by dashing 13 yards for touchdown. Meanwhile, Oklahoma All-American quarterback King Hill was having tough time and didn't complete single pass until end Buddy Dow caught, then fumbled Hill's throw on last play of first half, with star sub quarterback Frank Ryan going most of the way in place of Hill in the second half. Wax still floundered. Ours had made only 2 first downs against Navy defense, led by banged-up guard Tony Stramitt, and scored. Stood at 20-0, 4 minutes deep into the third quarter. Owls looked desperate. Then Rice had back defensive back Bob Weems interception at Navy 36-yard line sparked Ryan to 4 consecutive completions, including 8-yard touchdown to halfback Ken Williams. Hill returned late game at flanker, caught a apparent touchdown pass from Ryan, but was ruled beyond end zone end line. Game ended with Rice vainly having reached Navy 1 yard line against Tars Scrubs. Rose Bowl. Ohio State beat Oregon 10-7. Perhaps more victories are for losers, but if ever more victory earned admiration, it was an accomplishment by highly ridiculed Oregon. Ducks were 19-point underdogs, and leading up to the game were derided by everybody, according to Coach Lynn Casanova, who ended up being carried off afterward on shoulders of his team. Ohio State open game as if to justify its juggernaut role. Buckeyes ground out 79 yards after kickoff with land attack, spikes for 37-yard toss from quarterback Frank Kremlis to end Jim Houston. Kremlis scored from 2 yard line for 7-0 lead. Webfoots battled back with 80-yard march of their own. MVP quarterback Jack Crabtree pitched out to halfback Charlie Torville for the biggest gain, added his own useful runs, pitched out to quick halfback Jim Shanley for tying 5 yard score, but highly reliable front Ducks fullback kicker Jack Morris barely missed the vital medium range field goal in the third quarter. Deadlock wore on, but Buckeyes fullback Bob White carried 49 yards of long march that reached the Ducks' 17-yard line. There from precisely the same spot as Morris missed in previous quarter. Halfback kicker Don Sutherland booted his 34-yard field goal on first play of fourth quarter, which held up as a winning margin. Oregon end Ron Stover caught 10 passes for 144 yards, but his fumble, after a hard tackle by Buckeyes defensive end Leo Brown at the Ohio State 24-yard line, was recovered by halfback defensive back Joe Cannavino. To end Buck's last gasp at end of 56-yard march in the fourth quarter, Oregon outgained Ohio State 351 yards to 304 yards with its balanced attack. Gratuitous Midwestern scribes ended up lauding Oregon Jim Shevliner of Akron Beacon Journal wrote Oregon won everything but the score. And Charles Johnson of Minneapolis Star Tribune noted only one bad break kept Oregon from the upset of the season. So that concludes a look at the whole entire regular season and the inclusion of the bowl games and everything. Now it's time to get into the 1957 top performance formula. Number 1 was Oklahoma, top performance records. Number 1, Rice, 1957 out of conference records. Big Ten had a 16-7 record, 1-0 in the bowl games. SEC conference 21-9-2, 2-0. Southwest Conference 19-10-2, 0-3. Big 8 16-11-6, 1-0. Atlantic Coast 11-11-3, 0-1. Pacific Coast 11-13-2, 0-1. The rushing yards 1957 was 1,207 yards, 177 attempts. The league leader in rushing for the nation that year was Lenny Lyles of Louisville, 1,207 yards. 1,207 yards. So we got that taken care of. The passing yards, the leader was Lee Grosscup of Utah, 1,398 yards. In receiving yards, Stuart Vaughn was number 1, the top, with 756 yards receiving and 53 catches. Let's look at the All-American team, 1957. Kansas All-American team at N. Jimmy Phillips, Auburn. Dick Wallen, UCLA. The tackles, Lou Michaels, Kentucky. Alex Karras, Iowa. Guard, Bill Prisher, Oklahoma. Al Acuyer, Notre Dame. Center, Dan Kirby, Michigan State. Back, John David Crow, Texas A&M. Walt Karosik, Michigan State. Bob Anderson of Army, and Clendon Thomas, Oklahoma. All other All-American choices end, Jim Gibbons, Iowa. Fred Dugan of Dayton. Tackle Charlie Kruger, Texas A&M. Bob Reef-Snyder of Navy. Tom Topping, Duke. Guard Aurelius Thomas, Ohio State. Bill Johnson, Tennessee. Jackie Simpson, Mississippi. Center Don Stevenson of Georgia Tech. And the backfield had King Hill, Rice, Bob Stransky, Colorado. Lee Crosscup, Utah. Dick Christie, North Carolina State. Jimmy Pace, Michigan. Tom Forster, Navy. Jim Bacteria, Virginia. Jim Taylor, Louisiana State was Jim Taylor. The Heisman Trophy vote for 1957. John David Crow, senior halfback, Texas A&M, won the Heisman, 1,183 votes. Alex Karras, senior tackle, Iowa, 693. Walt Kowalczyk, senior halfback, Michigan State, 630. Lou Michaels, senior tackle, Kentucky, 330. Tom Forster, senior quarterback, Navy, 232. Now the Maxwell Player of the Year was Bob Reef-Snyder, junior tackle, Navy. Outland Lineman of the Year the award was won by Alex Karras, senior tackle of Iowa. Walter Camp, the best back, John David Crow, senior halfback, Texas A&M. Lou Michaels, senior tackle, Kentucky, won the Luke Rodney Lineman Award. And the AFCA Coach of the Year, Woody Hayes, Ohio State. So that concludes a look at the 1957 season as a whole. I talked about Week 11, the games that were played on November 28th to November 30th, 1957, and December 7th, 1957. And then I talked about the bowl games and the stats and the conference standings and the bowl games and all the awards, who led the nation in rushing, passing, and receiving and stuff like that. So, and who won the awards. So that concludes the look at the 1957 season as a whole. Tomorrow I'll be talking about the 1958 season. So I'll be talking about the overview of that season, then go over Week 1 and take it from there. So you can subscribe to the channel, like, comment, do whatever you can to support. Like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you can to support this channel and this video as a whole. This is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel. Until then, talk to you tomorrow.